Alright everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video with Fatphil, and today, I guess at the time of recording tonight, we got the road ahead for February 2024. We've all been waiting for it. It's finally here. We're going to break down all the different parts of this. We're going to talk about the good, some of the things that I'm a little bit nervous for, and I think, most importantly, how does this impact you if you're a free-to-play, if you're not spending a lot of money? What are things that you should be looking to do to get yourself prepared, not only for the new raid, but the new factions, bonus zones for territory battles, all of that stuff, guys. So like and subscribe, comment down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I love hearing from you guys. Even if I don't get to always comment, I love to hear from you. Let's give a massive shout out to the channel members right now for their continued support. Again, if they're ever interested in joining, that link is in the video description along with the Discord, guys. Thank you again for putting your faith in me to bring good content to this game. And of course, to my Wampa and Jedi Master tier members, thank you guys for putting your faith in me. Thank you for continuing to support me through the good, the bad, the ugly, and uploading wrong videos. You all are fantastic. I cannot thank you all enough. So let's actually flip over to the screen capture here. And we're on the forum, so we're going to move my fat face up to the right-hand corner here. There we go. All right. Let's talk about the February Road Ahead 2024 from Tuscan Meathead. So let's start it off here with the Welcome to 2024, or the February 2024 Road Ahead, where we start our journey into Star Wars The Phantom Menace arc. In today's post, we'll be presenting you with information and developer insight on the new Mandalore bonus zone, Gungan faction, Galactic Republic faction, guild gifting. Jar Jar Binks is finally friggin' here in the game. I cannot believe that Jar Jar Binks is going to be a playable character in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. And the new raid, the biggest thing I think of all, the battle for Naboo. And yes, they did say Jar Jar Binks. They've obviously put right here, look, disclaimer, everything is subject to change, but let's get into the road ahead. Let's see. So the first thing, they're talking about the bonus zone here. So we knew this had to be coming. Well, we don't have full details yet. They're working and leaning on the inspiration from Star Wars Rebels, so you'll find yourselves on a scarred planet riddled with conflict and heavily influenced by Galactic Empire, so gear up your squad. Who's going to be required? Well, it's going to be, Star Wars Rebels characters, right? Well, the requirements haven't been finalized yet, but you can expect some newer Mandalorian faction characters. Bo-Katan Mandalore, Dark Trooper Moff Gideon, and some old favorites like Sabine Wren will likely make an appearance. So, I don't know how much influence Star Wars Rebel is giving or how much influence we have from, here's all the new stuff in the game and that's what's going to be used in the bonus zone. Look, it's good, right? 100% it's good. We knew that we were going to have to use these new characters for something in territory battles. I think anytime we get new stuff like this, it's a good thing for the game. I think it gives us a good path to work for, and it incentivizes those of you in the earlier parts of the game to build these things because you can use them in a territory battle setting outside of a normal combat mission. So I think that's a great, great addition there. Next, Phantom Menace Episode 1, Battle for Naboo raid. We are continuing this journey with thematic raids in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, and I think that is awesome. I absolutely love it. So what a better way to celebrate the 25th anniversary than with an iconic battle on the planet Naboo. We're excited to give you all the early read in and look at the next raid and the direction we're looking to go while we build our Episode 1, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes adventure. You and your guild will find yourselves in the middle of conflict, participating in the Battle of Naboo against waves of battle droids with no end in sight. Gear up your Gungans, who will give you your best chance of survival and maximum point potential. Our initial target date for this is around summertime, so we're looking at this raid expiring closer to 8 months than that 10-month window that they had given us. So I think that's pretty reasonable. So look around the summertime for these things to be happening. So we'll want to really get these new characters and new factions up and running. So that's a quick turnaround. You think if the Gungans are the premier faction, whatever, for this raid, we're going to need to get working on them right away. So I would say that's the one negative thing I'm noticing here is that if it's coming around summertime, and that could mean August, but that's only 6 months away. So in 6 months, we need to get all the new characters at those relic levels and get, Jar Jar Binks. So what has it been like working on the raid? So they enjoy making events with narrative opportunities like territory battles and the Jedi Knight Cal's Hero's Journey event. So this raid has been fun. Trying to build that nail really nail that feeling of nostalgia and excitement that comes from watching the Battle of Naboo. Like, I can absolutely say that is one of the most electric scenes when you see all those droids coming out of the tanks and you're like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. I absolutely love that scene. Give me a timeout minute right here. My dog is looking at me like he's about to make Lake Erie on my floor. Give me one moment, guys. Hold on. All right, apologies for that, but dog dad's got to do what he's got to do. All right, so comment down below if you guys love Zeus. All right, comment down below if we love Zeus. So what are some characters and factions that may be required? Well, shockingly enough, they're looking at Galactic Republic, Jedi, Separatists, and of course, Gungans. And then they're basically saying, they've told us again here, in the Battle of Naboo, the Gungans with Jar Jar Binks on their side will give the best opportunity to be successful in the raid. They will be featured as the faction inside of the Battle of Naboo, much like Jabba in the Crate Raid and Leia in the Speeder Bike Raid. So, with that said, you can kind of figure out that Gungans are going to be important. So, as soon as they do go farmable, we're going to want to make sure that these guys are on that list if you want to score well in this raid. I have a feeling this is going to upset a lot of the farming plans for a lot of players in this game. Definitely going to delay certain things for people, so I would start making sure that you're prepared for whatever energy expenditures you need to make to have these things happen, because like we're used to, one of the big things with these raids, and this is something that I just want to make sure we understand, with this new raid coming, it's going to be a very short turnaround. You think, boom, we're going to get these Gungan characters, and then the raid's going to drop like the next day. So if your guild is getting a certain amount of rewards in the Speeder Bike raid, and then now you go to this Naboo raid and those rewards drop off, you might not be able to sustain that for long if you're not farming those Gungans up. So it's going to have to be a massive, massive priority. I am hoping that with Jar Jar, they kind of continue the trend of maybe he comes back every single month like they've done with Bo-Katan Mandalore in order to make sure that we can actually participate in this raid to its fullest extent. Who knows? So, speaking of the raid, let's talk about the Gungan faction. So again, they barely left the home planet in Naboo, and because of this, they were exceptionally proud and protective. We wanted this faction to represent that moment in the Phantom Menace of them standing standing steady on the battlefield as the Trade Federation invasion unfolds in front of them. The Gungan team will have a significant upfront power from their shield generator to defend against any would-be attackers. While much of this team works in an orderly fashion, there is a member that may cause a bit of disarray to the battle plans. We can all guess who that would be. I'd really wonder. So we've got Boss Nass here, the boisterous leader who commands the Gungans of Utagunga with pride and utilizes their unique technology to achieve victory. Boss Nass's shield generator will provide Gungans a way to avoid damage early on in the fight. That should be very interesting. Maybe it's like a damage immunity kind of thing. Captain Tarpals, decisive attacker that sets up his teammates for success and inflicts sizable damage. Okay. Gungan Bombardier, or Bombardier. Versatile attacker that capitalizes on enemy debuffs and ramps up damage while using abilities when the shield generator is up. Then, the Gungan Phalanx, a stout tank that is willing to assist his allies in need and provide coverage with his shield. New legendary unit, Jar Jar Binks, a Gungan support who isn't afraid to interject into the battle and offer his own, how should we say this, brand of help, confounding the enemy. Since Jar Jar is a legendary unit, you will need the other 4 Gungans to unlock him. With Jar Jar Binks on their side, the Gungans will do great work and cause a bit of chaos during the battle of the Naboo raid, so be sure to gear them up and utilize the shield generator. So, shield generator is going to be very important because they've mentioned it a bunch of times here. Kit reveals will come later on in their usual cadence. Now, Queen Amidala is here as well. I've been trying to, this is just, there's so much going on, so many new characters coming. Another iconic character's making her way to the holotables. She will be a future Conquest Chase character, as well as accompanied by 2 new characters for the Galactic Republic faction. While we don't have full details ready to share on her supporting cast yet, we will say these characters are also iconic and we can't wait to tell you more about them. That could be really interesting. Could we get a Padawan Obi-Wan Kenobi? Could we get Captain Typho? Very curious to see who those characters are, because that could be a really, really cool part of this kit. So what does she do? There's a lot of cool things. The biggest thing that they're talking about here is trying to bring back some buffs that aren't as well used, and the new decoy mechanic. So the decoy mechanic does sound really, really good. And GAC Omicron. So be prepared if you're a Grand Arena player. Time to start hoarding up yet again, because Queen Amidala is coming to the holo tables. Any new mechanics? Decoy, naturally. So, of course, new character, gotta bring something new. It's a summoned unit with a permanent taunt, which leads to the thematic feel for Phantom Menace and her character as the decoy sets out to protect the queen. As the decoy's active, she'll gain a new status effect called Queen's Protection, and based on how many stacks of this she has, she gives double of its effects to the Galactic Republic allies. Once decoy's defeated, she gets a bonus turn, a gnarly locked buff, and inflicts an enemy with something nasty. So they talk about how cool it is to be working on her, right? I really like this stuff. I think it is nice. I don't need to read the full thing. You guys can read that on their own, but the costume for this character better be off the frickin' charts, all right? That's all I'm saying. Better be off the walls. Next is guild gifting, and this is the one thing where I'd say I'm a little bit hesitant, because, like, I don't know. Was this completely necessary, right? So everybody go find your whale for your guild and start, help me, I'm poor. So, a feature that has been requested in a ton of surveys, guild gifting is coming to the holo tables. With this feature, you'll be able to, as you guessed it, gift bundles to fellow guild members through a very easy UI system. Below, you will find images from our prototype builds that showcase how this feature will work. So there'll be a whole new gift tab where you can go in and basically pick a, bundle like this and give it to a guild member. I don't know. I'd never really thought of this. You guys let me know if you're excited about it. I just feel like this is a way for the rich to get richer, personally. That, like, those top-end guilds just gonna be gifting each other stuff all the time to get more. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Here's something else just to think about. Like, I don't know. I'll say this. The jury's out on, hey, if it's crystals, it's one thing. If it's money, I don't know. I'm not as excited about this. I don't think this is something that I was ever really looking for. If you want to give money out to, like, your guild, I think that's great. Like, you're a great person. But I don't know that this is... I don't know at what level of the game this is going to have the biggest impact to be honest. And the other side of this is that how many players, like, if you get gifted this, people are going to be like, oh, well, I'm free to play. And then, like, on that account, they're free to play. And then on the other account, they're, gifted their stuff. Like, that's the other thing that we're going to run into. So, I don't know how this guild, like, I'm not as excited about this. I feel like it's fine. It's great. But, it is what it is. Final thoughts from, Meathead and everybody else here. Conceptually, the raid feels awesome. Having been able to sit in on the meetings for the Battle of Naboo, I can say the passion and excitement displayed by the folks working on the raid, especially for how they want to capture the moment properly, has been exciting to see and experience. So hopefully this raid looks really cool. Again, thematic is really going to be awesome. So, again, I'm excited. I think there's a lot of good things in here. I mean, Jar Jar Binks coming into the game is going to be so cool. Queen Amidala coming in, Gungan's new territory battle stuff. There was a lot of things in that, and say, hey, what did I want to see in the road ahead? What are some things that are missing? So, no updates on gear, no updates on Relic 10, no updates to, Grand Arena. Basically just talking about we're giving you new characters and a new zone in territory battles. So, there's a lot of stuff in here about characters, but not so much substance as to, is anything else changing in the game, right? So I hope that they'll address some of those other things in the future, because there's some other big things in the air in this that I think are missing, right? So there's a lot of good stuff here. I'm excited because it's great new characters. Padme going to Conquest is probably one of the best things, or I guess Queen Amidala going to Conquest is going to be awesome. I feel like that's a great way to release her. Conquest, again, being one of my favorite ways to release characters, because as a free-to-play or maybe someone who's not spending money actively in the game every day, you know, I think that releasing characters via Conquest is a great thing. But no address to GAC issues, no address to gear, relics, just saying like, yes, we're happy with it, no, we're not. So I do want to see that at some point, because I think that is important. And then, I mean, the bonus zone, it does sound cool. I'm excited for the bonus zone. I'm just curious as to what relic level would be required for it. Where is it going? What mission will get us there? So, kind of, you know, jury is still out here. Because if this is like a Relic 8, Relic 9 zone, well, like, that there's no point of adding it. Like, I hope, similar to, like, Zepho, you know, Braca with Zepho, that it's on an earlier planet where guilds can work towards it without having to spend crazy amounts of resources. Because if you went and released a zone that's just whale bait right now, I don't know that the vast majority of the player base will actively work towards these things. So definitely some things about this that I'm a little bit bummed about, that I feel like there's a lot of stuff where the road ahead of here's all the characters that's coming, and oh, the new raid that we all knew a raid was coming, we just didn't know what that raid was going to be. So I don't know, the more I read this, the more negative I'm getting. Maybe I should be very positive, because like we're getting some very iconic characters from, I would say, the vast majority of the player base, whether or not you know the prequels are your favorite movies, like those are the ones that you grew up, like I can say that I grew up with as a kid. So they have a very special place in my heart to be able to play through some of these things, are the ones that I truly grew up with as that child. That, like, you know, I still remember watching episode 4, 5, and 6, and that's what made me fall in love with Star Wars. But being able to see Darth Maul with that double lightsaber was one of the coolest scenes. You know, the battle droids, like, I will say the Phantom Menace, there's a lot of issues with it, but the battle droids in the Phantom Menace are absolutely my favorite battle droids. I'd even say, you know, in Attack of the Clones, they're also very good, but I felt like Phantom Menace, the droids really seemed like a fierce, like almost scary kind of enemy. So I'm excited for this raid. I am excited for the factions. Little bit bummed out we didn't get some more information on the overall state of this game. Maybe they'll release a State of the Galaxy, kind of give us that stuff. So let me know your guys' thoughts down below. As always, hit that like button, subscribe for more content like this. I love all of you. We will do plenty of other videos where we talk about how you can be preparing for this, because I think if you're free to play reading this stuff, there's definitely some things to be excited about. Definitely some things that I'd be a little bit more scared on, right? I think from a free-to-play perspective, Padme going, or Queen Amidala, I'm just going to keep calling her Padme because that's what she is, but her going to Conquest is great. But the Gungans and the short turnaround for the raid is a bit concerning to me. So the only way I could say that I hope is that if Jar Jar kind of comes back the way that Bo-Katan Mandalore has been, then I have a lot more hope for the raid. So let me know your thoughts down below. I love you all. May the Force be with you. If you're still watching right now, Zeus, you guys got to comment about Zeus. Go ahead and say that, man, what do we say about Zeus? Comment that you think Zeus is the cutest husky in the whole wide world. I love you all. May the Force be with you, and I will see you guys in the next video. Cheers.